We want to say thank you very much for coming on News Echo. And when we say echo, it means across the world because we are broadcasting from London and from Milan. I'm particularly broadcasting from Dover, very close to Calais in France. So it's all over Europe that we are making this broadcast, and we are seeing this in front so that you know that you are being heard by the 13 million Nigerians in Europe and the various European governments who always listen to our program so that they can deduce their own foreign policy analysis towards African states. So you are most welcome, sir. And it's a pleasure to have you on this program. Sir,
Always a pleasure of mine too.
yes, sir.
Always a
Sir,
pleasure of mine to
you
join you in
you need
conversation.
no
Yeah.
introduction at all. And so we won't go into the introduction. Chief Bode George is well known. You have served as a retired naval officer. You have served as a governor. You are currently serving as the leader of the PDP, one of the foremost parties in Nigeria. So before we go into some nitty gritty questions, we want you to give us an outlook of the Nigerian politics as it is today. How far have we gone in 61 years of
That's
existence?
a very yes, I know. Well, I don't belong to the ruling party. I belong to the party in opposition, and the real essence of democracy is for us um, to dialogue, to discuss um, the, the effectiveness, the impact of governance on Nigerians. And it's always a pleasure of mine to join in such discussions because we must be able to tell the truth to power, no matter what. So it's my pleasure, and I'm happy
Yes, sir.
to be at this.
Thank you for that introductory remark. Because
Yeah.
this is a special occasion you are coming on, Nigerians in diaspora, especially our European friends as well, we want you
Mm.
to analyze what happened in the first 16 years of this republic, that is when PDP was in power, and what has happened in the last 6 years when Buhari and APC have been in power. Do you think the PDP have done so great and the APC have done greater, or the APC has regressed?
Now, I don't want to sound being a bit biased um, because, yes, we were in power for the first 16 years, and all we were able to do are so obvious. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, but when you look at the state of the country, talk about the insecurity, the most important uh, role any government in power should be is to provide security of lives and the safety of properties. And who in Nigeria today can raise his hand and claim that the APC government has provided sound security for lives and properties of Nigerians? You don't need you the will. We are living it, and we know that all is not well when it comes to internal security. Uh, Suddenly, the the tribal relationships that existed had broken down. People, tribe A versus tribe B, and where was that oneness? Where was that camaraderie that existed? Today, the um, the Yoruba tribe are angry. The Igbo tribe, they are also angry. Those who are living in the north, the Fulanis, are also angry. And so all is not well. And I believe that what needs to be done is to get everybody back to a scenario where we respect each other's culture, and don't try to dislodge anybody from his own tribe. We should work together. There is one caveat that I've raised severally for people. When you know, those who are um, the Fulani cowed herdsmen, you know, they always bring their cows to the south. Why? Because the grass in the south is required by the cows to eat them, right? We don't have cows in the south, but we have good greens, right? So
Yes, sir.
we have a symbiotic relationship. You you don't have it, you come to us to take the grass, and we don't have cows. So can't we form a symbiotic relationship that, okay, when we bring our cows down, you allow them to graze easily? Look, I'm not a young man anymore. Since I was a kid, I realized that these herdsmen have been going up and down and in peace and been selling their cows, making money. And I know for real in Lagos that when I was a young man, you know, having sold the cows, they would have extracted the urine of the cows, you know, to resell to us. Good ammonia. In those days, the public health wasn't this developed. So, you know, there are cases of young children who have,
Epilepsy or fainting.
yeah, yeah, you know, that they call it a name. And then we in those days nobody had any gas cooker or electric cooker. We were all cooking with firewood. And after, you know, you once you bought that thing, they used to hang it at the kitchen area. So if anybody is convulsing, yes, they quickly will bring that urine, put it in the nose of whoever is convulsing, and suddenly the kid will wake up. I didn't realize
Yeah,
what
they will
that was.
sneeze.
Yes, I
Mm.
didn't realize what it was until I got to secondary school trying to, you know, study chemistry. It was ammonia. So this relationship existed, peaceful relationship. You have something which I don't have, and I have something which you don't have. Why can't we work together? Why is this sudden surge of having to dislodge you from your location? That doesn't make sense. And so it's very, very heart wrenching when you see this. What has broken down? You
So
know, this.
what went wrong, sir? What do you think
I
went
don't
wrong?
know. I don't know. We've been asking why sudden break of relationship. Why? You look. If you come to my house and you want to dislodge me from my house, automatically I will fight back. It's normal. You can tell me, okay, sir, I want some parts of this. In response to, I will give you this while you take that. It's symbiotic. What has broken down? I'm wondering, and we are asking, why are we drifting apart?
Could it just
I
where
don't
some people
know.
believe that some people believe that they want to dip the Quran into the sea in Lagos, and that was stopped many years ago. But could it that be resurgence again? That look, this
I
country must
look,
be Sharia controlled.
whatever. Look, everywhere you go, take my family. My immediate older sister is an Alaja. She's a Muslim. but she's my older sister. She married a Muslim, so she's a Muslim. I even encouraged her and her husband to go for the holy pilgrimage in Mecca. That's why would I reject her or why away? You know, because she's a Muslim. That's my older sister. And so, what has it got to do? This friction, we are creating friction, which is not necessary. You know, and that brings me to the most important discussion in Nigeria today. The system of governance we are running is not working.
Okay, sir. So
It is
what will
not
work?
working.
What are you suggesting will work, sir?
Evolution of power, power center. Because what we're running is structural misfit. You have, we copied the American system and we didn't copy it fully. So it's not working. You have somebody in Abuja as the head of state or the president, he backs the others, he goes down. All our resources are taken to a collation center every month, and then you redistribute. And the whole gamut is not working. Devolution of power to the states. I'm not saying, go back to regional powers. That won't even work now. Give more powers to the state. And so if you, in your state, you cut the coat according to the available cloth, people will make sure they work so hard to get something for their people. Governance will be closer to the people than what it is now. Everybody believes that it is Abuja that is ruling. No.
Yes, sir.
Look at the security.
Pardon.
Policing itself is local, it's community based. We have only national police. Why? It's not working. We will still have the national police, but then we must have local police, state police, so that you can be closer to the people and you will employ those who are from that area to do your policing. And they will be
Pardon me,
responsible
sir.
for
I
it.
want to go. I want to go into some historical narration so that we
Right.
may benefit from your wisdom. If you
Mm-hmm.
look at the Nigerian historical analysis, we started with
Yeah.
3 regions, then to 4 Midwestern states. Then, when the Civil War started,
General
George
Gowan
administration
created.
divided the states into 12, principally
Yeah.
breaking the power of the then old Biafra. And from there, Muritala Mohammed broke it down to 19 states, reducing the power of the states. And these were done principally to reduce the power of the states because they were not all economically viable. At the end of the day, we ended up with 36, many of them not viable. Now, if you now say devolution of power, we know that there will be a lot of deficiencies in administrations. What do you
No,
say, sir?
no, there can be deficiency. We copy the American system. Are you saying in the United States of America today, you know, California is the largest state in America? It is the fifth largest economy in the world. It coexists with Maine, which is the smallest state in America. Now, they will look at the resources within their state to be able to make life more meaningful, positive impact on the people. And so, what is wrong in that? We are saying now people see governance so far away from them. You talk about local government, it's absolutely epileptic. It is the same
Where
federal
available.
government. Yeah, it is the same federal government that gets all the resources, it distributes resources even to local governments in your state. Why? Why feeding them? They should survive. You know what General Gowan did when he came to power? One of the major reasons that created hell was that minorities in both sides, both north and south, were getting positive impact from governance. You remember, you have the NPC in the
Yes,
north,
sir.
you have the Action Group in the
In the
west,
West,
and you
yes.
had the NCNC
NCNC.
in the east. Now, places like present day Rivers, Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River were minorities.
Yes, sir.
And so there wasn't something positive. They are to be seen, and nobody listened to them. The same in the north. The states now, you have Niger State, you have Kogi State, you have Kwara State, you have Plateau State, you have Nasarawa, and Benue. They existed only in name. That wasn't something, the majority were ruling, and they were, didn't care about those minorities. So when they created the states, was to make the minorities to have their own share of the of governance, and then it made a lot of sense. But the moment we came back with a constitution structured like in the military, no longer have an impact. Okay, why should we have 19 states in the north and 17 in the south? The number of local governments, take my state, Lagos State. Lagos State is the most populated state in this country. You know how many local governments we have? Only 20. Kano, that is not as populated as Lagos, has 44. And every local government, from the coffers at the end of every 30 days. Does that make any political sense? And then based on that, created the consensus National Assembly. So,
Yes, sir.
ab initio,
I want to
had
ask you
created
two.
the division.
Yes, sir. May I ask you two related
Yes,
questions, sir? You said devolution of power, but will that raise the
yes.
corruption that we have in the system? That's number one. If we devolve powers to these the various states, will that remove corruption, which is our major problem? Secondly, people have argued that constitution is not our problem, but constitutionalism,
Yeah.
which is the operation of the constitution.
Yeah.
So whatever constitution we have, we don't have the kind of leadership that will operate the constitutions to benefit our people.
Let me tell you, let me try and take it out, because you have lumped so many things in your
All right, sir.
analysis.
All right, sir.
The electoral process we are running is what has brought a hell of a lot of corruption into this system. Take, for example, as an electorate in this country, you have your VC card. You go to your polling unit, they swipe your card. It shows him if he recognizes you. That's all the new technology that we have brought. Every procedure after being swiping card is done manually, and that's where the rottenness comes in. You carry your results manually in the 21st century, and the National Coalition Center is also done manually. People carry the results physically there. So what guarantees that they wouldn't have manipulated the results before getting there? That is the rottenness. That is the, even when we go into a modern, use modern technology to assist us in the electoral process, people voted it down and said, no, they don't want it. So they are saying continue with the rotten system because the people you see where power must rise from the bottom of the base upwards. In other words, if not allow people to record exactly what they voted, that is the beginning of the rottenness system. Because why would they, they supposedly agree that yes, you are the one who needed to vote your House of Reps and the governors and all that. And if it's manipulated, then it means the will of the people is being subjugated. And that is the problem. When came and said, look, let us now try a manner where the will will be respected. They said, it's a joke. It is a huge joke. We can modernize it. In fact, if you have an account only in Nigeria today, if anybody puts any money in your account, no matter where you are, you get an alert.
That's correct, sir.
It's
That's
available.
very correct.
Yeah, so why can't we now extend that to the electoral process? It's a joke. And all kinds of, until we get those things right, we are going to continuously be whistling in the dark. We are deceiving ourselves. There is no need to reinvent the wheel. No, tell ourselves the truth. And
but Chief, there's
another
this
point.
urgent question there. Why did the representatives of the people not approve such electoral collation? What went into the minds of our
because they
parliamentarians?
benefited from the rottenness. They benefited from the rottenness. And so they want to continue to derive the benefits without allowing the real will of the people to be respected. That's the problem. We came into this work system and they would like it to continue with the work system. And so, you come to the cross point. What do? Let us tell ourselves some serious home truth. Unless we do that, we will never lift ourselves out of this bondage.
Let us zoom on Lagos State recent local government election. APC won all. What happened, sir?
Now, those who conducted the election were employed by who? Who employed them? Right. Those who brought all the papers, manual papers, for you to put on your ballot paper and select or deselect or all the man. You saw that the percentage of those who went to the polls was disgracefully less than 2%. Today, they will tell you they have won the election. They have a chairman emerge, councillors emerge, and to rule who? Isn't it a charade? Isn't it a joke? Are we seriously ready for democracy? What is wrong? That's why the Constitution says every 4 years to renew your mandate. Who is there to renew what? That same process.
Was the governor comfortable about the results? And were the people comfortable? Why is nobody complaining?
The
Why
governor
quiet?
about whatever he found about it. This is the time to from the people. Well, he will keep quiet because he's the one who employed those people who manage the elections, and he's the one paying them their salary. So, what does it concern him? The end justifies the means. But the whole gamut of this was absolutely nonsensical. Absolute nonsense. Less than 2% of the people went to the vote. They were tired. So how do you change a governance not play positive to positively impact on the minds of the people. That is the problem. It's not working. It isn't working. And we cannot continue to deceive ourselves and be pretending that all is well, all is hunky dory. No, absolute nonsense. So until we change that and move to a position of justice, fairness, and equity, Nigeria will never get off the ground. Never.
Wow. We know that you are time pressed and you are a very busy person and you've been working for Nigeria. What is your take for 2023? What kind of presidency are we to look at for in 2023, sir?
You know, that is not my headache now. Let me tell you my own headache. I said the electoral process is not working. The constitution we are running is also defective. It is so military in its outlook that rather than power to emanate from the base to the top, we have power coming from the top to the bottom. And that's why I said, well, I've been appealing to the president that he must, as a matter of urgency, try to revisit the report of the Constitutional Conference held in 2014. That was the first time in the history of our country that a Constitutional Conference was initiated. It started from day one and it was successfully concluded, and a report was delivered to the government. That's the first time a civilian administration will be looking into our constitution. And that job was concluded. Why can't the present administration start from that point?
The present
Take
administration, sir,
Yeah.
President Buhari has categorically said he was not going to look into that constitutional
mistake on his
report.
part. This is what I'm saying. It is a serious, serious mistake on his part. I can't know he was in the military, but you tell the power, we cannot, this country is not working the way it is. We are all dismembering ourselves. It's not working. And I hope in future, because when one of the major things handed over to him was the report of that constitutional conference. And he said they should send it to the archives. It is a serious mistake on his part. We must bring it out. Let's discuss
was
it.
Not at that conference. Tinubu refused to be at that conference. Could it be the reason, sir?
Oh, come on. Who is just an individual? Tinubu, so does he controls himself and his lackeys. What's my business with him? I don't have anything about him or whatever. Because he wasn't, because he was not a member of the constitutional conference, means there are no other better, sensible, reasonable people in Nigeria than
join.
him.
I remember clearly he refused.
He can do whether he joins or he doesn't join. It doesn't make a damn difference to me. What is just an individual? So we are talking now about the national outlook, something that would bring more nerve to Nigeria. It's just an individual, whether he's present there or he doesn't, he wasn't present. That doesn't make a damn difference to me. There are more brilliant, most honest people in this land. I'm not talking. I don't know whether he was there or not. That's not the issue. A tree doesn't make a forest.
Okay, sir. Let's quickly talk about your party, the PDP. It appears leadership has been in crisis. We saw Secondus and the rest. What is going on, sir? We want to correct the situation that we've seen that gone viral.
No. There is always a tide in the affairs of men. No matter how many people are in that organization. Disagreements will come up. We all cannot sleep and face the same direction. When people kept on talking about managing a massive organization like the PDP, I believe that they veered off the constitution and started taking decisions on their own outside the confines of the ground norm, which is the constitution of our party. Some of us started crying and saying, listen, these guys are moving away from the constitution and taking decisions that are completely against the norms in the constitution. So people started talking, they started looking, they were discussing, debating, and it came to a head that, listen, what are we going to do, for God's sake? So the elders of the party met and called the management of the party to say, listen, you guys have been completely off the mark. You are running the party as if it's your private enterprise. And you have a right to do that. There are checks and balances in our own constitution and in our own party. So they called their attention to it and said, look, okay, we are getting close to another convention. All right. So why don't we now go and refix those areas that have been dented? And so they took a decision. Now, look, none of the present managers will be allowed to come back to contest. So there's that in any organization you cannot say you will not have problems, but the ability to rise above that and provide a solution to it should be the hallmark of how serious you are, how committed you are to that organization. And I must commend our party that they were able to get up and, they took a decision. And so, we are now in the process of trying to revisit and amend and correct all the mess that was created. So there's nothing wrong. In every organization, you have that. You remember when Oshiomhole too was running the party, he had to take the intervention of the president to send their cabinet packing, and that they have an interim team who are working for them to go to convention and then elect new managers of their party. So there's nothing wrong in doing that, and for me it makes a lot of
I want
sense.
to ask you, thank you, sir. Before I ask my colleague in London to ask his own
Yes.
question, this question, do you think we can have a PDP president come 2023? Then I will ask my colleague in London to take over.
Okay. Now, if you now reorganize the platform on which you want to launch your battle, and that platform is stable, if it had been wobbling, you can hardly play a good role when your platform is wobbling. But if you are able to now stabilize that platform, you can do wonders. So Nigerians are, are looking for a well organized party, a party that they can trust, a party that can bring the laurels to make use of the resources of that for their benefit. That is the kind of party that I envisage.
Have you
We'll have.
zoned it
I'm
to the
sure.
north or to the south, sir?
No, they haven't done any zoning yet. You see, our party, when the APC, they don't believe in any zoning. We don't believe in anything like zoning. To them, zoning is a mark. But what did they do? They chose a president from the north. Huh? Now, the vice president is from the south, isn't it? They chose
Yes,
the
sir.
Senate president from the north. The speaker of the current National Assembly is also from the south. You can see north, south, north, south. What else do you call how do you define zoning? You understand what I'm saying? The founding fathers of our party realized this lacuna that justice, fairness, and equity will be the tripod on which the political party will be built. And so they were not shy to tell Nigerians. And I can tell you with absolute satisfaction and confidence that it is only PDP, the first political party that bears all the colors of Nigeria from the swampy forest to the savannah regions in the north. This contraption called APC, it's a congregation of strange bedfellows, and you have seen it.
But the governor
So
of Cross River
our
State has just
ability,
joined them.
who?
The governor of Cross River State.
Yeah, that's a mistake on his part. I told him that you jumping from frying pan to fire. Somebody also asked me, say, oh, why can't we go and let them set up another political party? The two parties have failed. And I said, no. If you set up another party today, the membership will be filled by who? Are they not Nigerians that are going to go there? Are they not going to go there with the same attitude? So the who doesn't make the monk. Let us be honest with
I have a
ourselves.
colleague in London, sir. His name is
Yes.
Nathaniel Iyakwo. He used to be an ambassador in for Nigeria. Now he lives in London. He would like to ask you a question. Ambassador Nat.
Okay.
Um, Thank you very much, Chief Bode George.
Thank you.
We appreciate we spent a lot of time grilling you. I'm sure you have the strength to spend some few minutes more with us.
No problem.
With the wealth of experience you have as an administrator, both in the military and civil, if today you can bring back your experiences to bear on what is happening or what has happened in Lagos State in the past 16 years as we speak. That's my question.
I can't hear you.
Okay.
How
If
can you
you
repeat
had
it?
if you had the opportunity, you hearing me
Right.
now? With
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
with your wealth of experience in the old Ondo state, which is now Ondo and Ekiti, if you had that opportunity to 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 bring to bear the wealth of experience you had there and now on, let's zero in on Lagos State.
Now, let me tell you the areas of contraption in Lagos State. You see all the young people who are non-skilled. There's a deliberate effort by the government of my state to sponsor many of these children to acquire. And after the skill, they set aside a certain amount of money that will be some what you call uh, soft loan to start their businesses. Right now, these boys are milling all over the whole place, jobless, angry, and hungry. And what is the government doing? Skill acquisition program. It's when Jonathan was president, we had it, and at the end of their training, like you want house, bricklayer, they want to be painters, they want to be carpenters, they want to all kinds of trade. They sent them to full Oshodi. It depends on what skill you want to acquire, and then we mean the number of weeks that you spend there. And what you do there, they give you a certain amount of money for you to set up your own company. That is absent. Now, graduates too are milling around. Remember the answers?
Yes.
People are for outfit. I tell you what happened. When I was in my final year, about 52, 53 years ago, in the University of Lagos, we were 8 in my graduating class.
8.
We were interviewed for job at that time before we wrote our final exam. Things have changed. So who is going to employ all these young minds? These are our assets. You know what is happening? Like you have settled in England. Many of them are being shipped out now to Canada. These are the future leaders of this country, moving away because there's no job here. And a jobless person is a volatile emblem for conflagration. So we need to really address this malaise, because future generation, you are being mortgaged them out. So who will man the rear when the time comes? We can't live forever. So these are the experiences that I thought we could bring to bear.
Okay.
On the mind. The carnage. Each time I go around Lagos, I see all these young minds jobless. There is still no future. And one man is taking 15% of the collectibles of our treasury to his pocket every time. Is that justified?
Is that man
It's
a government official or
no? He's the emperor. He's the emperor of the state, who dictates who should go to toilet, who dictates who should be on bed, who dictates who should be in the bathroom. It's more than madness. It's a lunacy. For God's sake, this is my state, and the tendency for this fellow, it's unimaginable. So that's why he continues to pick who will be governor, who will be governor, who will be chair of government. It's madness. I cry for my beloved
states,
and none of them can do anything. Yes, it's the Lagos state. I cry for my state.
Okay.
Let's go to Mark quickly in Italy.
Okay.
Mark is our colleague who is in Italy. Mark, do you have any question for Chief Bode George?
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
I can't. It's coming. Okay.
Go on, Mark.
Thank you very much.
Mark, go on.
Yes. Chief Bode George, good evening, sir. Excellent one. Sir, we really appreciate your coming to put a voice to echo in Europe and around the world. One thing is for sure, one thing we all know, when Chief Bode George speaks, everybody wants to listen, because you're speaking out of experience, and you're speaking out of from very good, resourceful knowledge base. So I have just one question for you, sir. I hope you're listening, sir.
Right.
If good.
Absolutely.
Nigerians, there are like Dr. Shegun said, there are close to 13, 14 million Nigerians scattered around Europe alone, and more millions of Nigerians scattered around the world. And they still have their eyes in our country, Nigeria. A lot of them, even with this wave of people going to Canada and all that, at the end of the day, Nigerians in diaspora are still interested in finding their way back home to be in their country. We love our country, Nigeria. Now, what is PDP? With your experience and your position in PDP, what are the plans to integrate Nigerians that want to be part of the political plans and arrangements? What are the plans in place in PDP to have a diaspora involvement? Because the diaspora involvement will truly bring some. Yes.
In the meantime, maybe may I present to the rest of the world what Chief Bode George has managed to say. Number one, that the electoral process in Nigeria is faulty, and unfortunately, the parliamentarians will not even approve electronic coalition of results because they are benefiting from it. The parliamentarians were alleged to be benefiting from a fraudulent coalition system, which is based on manual coalition, and there's nothing that says that it will never have been tampered with. Secondly, he said that the constitution we're operating is military constitution and will never support devolution of power, hence the challenges that we are having. He contradicted the analysis that Gowon created more states and Muritala Mohammed that because they wanted to reduce the bearing of these states, of the people, so that the center could be strong. But rather, he said that they wanted to bring people who had never known, people like Rivers and Akwa Ibom and Bayelsa and Kogi and Benue. That's the reason for it. So he said that has led to the various states. He also said that there is an emperor in Lagos who will never allow anything to happen. He compared this emperor to Lunatic emperor who is currently taking 15% of the earnings of Lagos State. When pressed to mention the name of the emperor, the line went dead because of technology. So we will, at another date, listen to that. But that's how far we have got with him on this occasion. Maybe we need to go on a break. When we come back, if he has not rejoined us, then we simply come to a conclusion of this episode. So don't go away. We will be back after these promo. Okay, do you support Nigerians in diaspora to vote?
diaspora to do what? You mean
to vote in an election,
to vote
like other
or
countries
to?
do. In other countries, their citizens they vote from anywhere in the
Yes, they
world.
allow them to vote. We are still saying within Nigeria here that the process of the electoral process is archaic. It's so how can we get people in the diaspora to vote? We can't even manage ourselves there. We are still doing manual voting.
But some African countries are doing their citizens abroad that can vote, and
Yeah,
we are supposed to be
we
the
can't
giant of
even
Africa.
modify our own. We are not even doing anything for our people here. You know, I mean, people will be manually. Are we now going to tell them bring the results manually, flying from Paris or flying from London or flying from Russia? From we can't even get it right here. Huh? I mean, it's a shame
Okay,
because any
Mark from
known
Italy,
field
what's
of
your question?
endeavor, yes, any known field of human endeavor, you will have
Mm.
one Nigerian who is an expert. Isn't it a disgrace? And now the National Assembly went into session. They asked those in favor say aye. Nobody said anything. Those against say nay. They shouted nay, and the man presiding took the gavel, struck the damn thing, and said, "The eyes have it." It's a joke.
But they have a right to
The
protest.
whole world
One
saw
man,
it. The
according
whole
to the
world
law
saw
of the
the
National
disgrace.
Assembly,
Yes,
Chief Sir, according to the
yes,
law of the National Assembly, one man,
yes.
one representative, if he disagrees with that voting, then there will
yes.
be counting of votes manually. I mean,
Uh,
senators will be
you know, the
allowed to
whole place
vote
went in.
manually.
You know, the whole place went agog because they were shocked. They were
Chief,
stupefied. They sat there and was looking. What are we seeing? We were all here. Those in favor, no, nobody. Those against, they had their voices, and you
Chief,
took it. Said
Chief,
the eyes have it.
yes, Chief, Bode
Isn't
George.
that yes?
Sir, you like I said earlier, when Chief Bode George speaks, everybody wants to hear. So that means you have a very strong connection to the influence of people in Nigeria. Now, can't
Yes.
you use that influence to create a situation in PDP as a political party where because one part PDP is missing out is the diaspora involvement. You see, of a truth, the diasporans, Nigerian diaspora have wealth of knowledge. So many of the problems in Nigeria can be fixed by
Absolutely.
Nigerians that are outside because they've gone through some of these process in their field of endeavors. A lot of them know so many things. Like we're talking of telecom. There are Nigerians that are handling companies
Yeah.
outside Nigeria, and they
Yes.
understand the workings of good telecommunication. So, with your power, sir,
Yeah. Yeah.
with your influence in PDP, can't PDP make an arrangement and reach out to these vast numbers of Nigerians in diaspora to come and be involved in the progress of our country?
Yeah. I have no objection to that. You know, the aggregation of those in diaspora and those who are here form that beautiful number of who we are as a people. Of recent, I've been asking, where is that giant of Africa? You remember, we were in the forefront that liberated South Africa from the apartheid, Namibia, Angola, and come down to West Africa. In Somali, we were there. In Sierra Leone, we were there. Liberia, we were there. So where is that giant of Africa? Recently, they had a G7 meeting, Eh? South Africa was invited. Rwanda was invited. Where is that giant of Africa? Have we gone to sleep? Check any known human endeavor in life. You will find one Nigerian who is an expert. Then what the goddamn hell is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? I mean, it's our country. No matter where you go, you want to get back home. And I wonder that what is driving us in a totally different direction. I can only talk and talk and talk and tell the truth to power. I'm not afraid to tell the truth to power. At this age, what am I afraid of? Because someday down the line, people would ask, what did you people do when we were drifting? We are drifting very badly. And you say it, everybody will translate that to me, no negativism, no. But tell the truth to power. All is not well. And we are deceiving ourselves. Bring governance closer to the people. The document that Oga said he wasn't going to look at must be the starting point. Because for 6 months we were there at the National Constitutional Conference, we debated, we x-rayed, we analyzed, and came to a conclusion. All of a sudden, you send it to the archives. I'm sending it. Why? Now we're almost again. The senator, they are now trying to now tell you, haven't had anything of recent. Oh, they went around there listening to people. What are your views? What views? They've been expressed. Eh? So let's stop deceiving ourselves. There is no life that is in perpetuity. Never. So let's be serious with ourselves. Forget about party A or party B. It is what will make this nation endearing to his people. If we don't do that, someday we will all wake up and regret it.
Finally, sir, one more question from Milan, Italy.
Yes.
We see what is happening in Afghanistan, and yes, it will probably blow up to the faces of most governors, most country government. Now, with also the local one we have in our country, Boko Haram and ISWAP. What is PDP's what your influence and PDP? What are measures being taken that we don't wake up one day and find ourselves like what is happening in Afghanistan?
Yeah, you see, the luck we have is that Nigeria is a massive country. If you look at it from Sokoto State to Cross River, from Maiduguri to Lagos, from Jigawa to Delta, this country is massive. All right? So if you claim that you won an election, a national election, what you should feel is that you have an opportunity to be the president for all Nigerians. That you are president, you are concerned about safety of lives and properties of the people you are governing. Not to overdrive one tribe against the other and thinking there will be peace. No. So, is it as a result of poor management of the electoral process, or is it that you want to encourage dismemberment of this nation? No. I mean, I was in the military. We don't fight wars by saying, one Yoruba man stand here, Fulani man next, Igbo man next, South next. No, we don't fight any wars like that. There is an established camaraderie that you are first and foremost a Nigerian.
So
but if you lose all that laurels, if you lose all that commitment, and your goals are no longer well defined, then you got a problem. You know. So
Okay, 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 sir.
it drives me nuts when we talk about this. I grew up in this country. I went to school in this country. I did this nation trained me. Went to the best schools. Went to the best.
Chief,
Go ahead.
we can go on and on and on and on, and we'll definitely have you back as soon as possible. Nat, you just want to say goodbye to Chief in one sentence. What do you want to say, Nat?
This is a special day for me. I'm not sure with others. It's a great privilege to have had the opportunity to listen to Chief Bode George. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Chief Bode George, sir, all the diasporans in Europe and indeed across the world will be so happy to listen to your message again and again and again. We have managed to summarize many things you have said. We shall be posting it viral to the rest of the world. And in a very near distance, we shall invite you again, especially as the 2023 presidential system, presidential election is coming. We are very grateful to have you, and we greet Lagos from here and indeed the whole of Nigeria. We're sure to see you as soon as we will need you, and God bless you and give you long health. God bless you, sir.
God bless you, sir. God bless you for
God
speaking
bless
out.
you.
Thank you also for honoring the invitation.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
I
right.
appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very
Well,
much.
for our viewers, that was Chief Bode George, all the way from Lagos, Nigeria, giving us the latest of the information. We have managed to gather that the electoral process is still in the medieval age, when we should be
Yeah.
being on the high level of electoral collation, and something has to be done. And for that reason, it is difficult to ask the Nigerians in diaspora to participate in that. Also, we are told that the military constitution is not working, and there should be devolution of power across the nation, and that Nigeria was divided into several states so that some other minorities could be brought into the picture of Nigeria. Chief Bode George also informed us that the diaspora vote will be difficult to work out in view of the challenges the country is facing. Of course, concerning his Lagos state, where he originates from, he said the last local government election was a selection and a sham, and the state in the electoral commission simply worked for their boss. And he will look up to where we will have a better electoral system working for the state and for the nation. He also informed us that there is an emperor in Lagos who he described, and I quote him, as lunatic, collecting 15% of the revenue of the state. However, he refused to mention anybody's name, but he said this particular emperor has been changing the governor of Lagos. It is on that note that I have to thank my colleagues all the way from Milan, Mark. Thank you for joining on this program. I have to thank my colleague in London, Nat Yakwo. Ambassador Nat, thank you for joining. And to our viewers and listeners, we are very much grateful. Until next Wednesday, when we bring you the latest across the globe. The Afghanistan issue is still pressing on, and Nigeria is still moving on. Don't forget to watch out for News Echo all over the world as we bring you the latest. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. Welcome, Chief Bode George. We're glad you're back.